welcome to Shooby Dooby Doo-Wop, a podcast where we talk about pop music, specifically by deep diving a randomly picked UK top 10 singles chart from the past. When the mists are rising and the rain is falling, put your sweet lips close to mine. They pass by us one sunny day, flash their big brown eyes our way. It's going to take much more than time. I'm Andy Robinson.
And I'm James Cook.
Hello, James Cook. Goodbye, heart. What randomly chosen UK top 10 singles chart from the past are we picking this week, James?
Well, as the listeners have probably worked out from your quotes in the intro there, it's the 29th of August 1961.
The 29th of August 1961, I say to reiterate. There were loads of great records in this top 40, at least, around this week of August 29th, 1961. Things like Let's Twist Again, Chubby Checker, What Kind of Fool Am I, Anthony Newley, Elvis with both Wooden Heart and Surrender, Running Scared, Roy Orbison, Cupid by Sam Cooke, Runaway by Del Shannon, Quarter to Three by Gary U.S. Bonds, all classics, James.
But we're not talking about any of them.
None of them. A load of them made the top 10.
Yep, which excludes them from our bonus tracks as well.
Yes, our bonus tracks. Let's chuck that in early. If you join our Patreon, you can listen to another half a dozen records discussed by both me and James that never made the top 10 around this time.
Featuring Eddie Cochran, Brenda Lee, Andy Stewart, the theme to a balloon dance and a song about an insect. You can join our Patreon community for free. The Bonus Tracks podcast costs less than a $10 a month.
And while we're at it, because it's very popular on podcast, Ken Dolls, of course, James.
1961.
Invented?
Yeah, that's when he came out. When I say that's when he came out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Things get complicated. He wouldn't mind, Ken, because he's a metrosexual dolly. All right, then, let's also discuss other things that happened in 1961, James. I was having a little look. 2 weeks before this chart, the Berlin Wall had just started going up. Also, the Soviet Union were experimenting with nuclear weapons in this week of 1961.
It'll come to no good.
But in happier news, let's do some pop music. I mean, it's not really happier looking at it. My apologies, Patsy Cline's estate. She just had a car crash.
God.
Yeah. Stuart Sutcliffe had just left the Beatles, so arguably 1961 this week, something that shaped popular music to come, yeah? Mm-hmm. Losing that member. Also, this is pretty good. This comes up in our bonus tracks. Billboard had just invented an easy listening chart.
For the songs that are easy to listen to. Well, you don't have to do like an exam before you're allowed to listen to it.
And also the Motown label, that was just, it wasn't this week, but it was starting up and getting some traction around this time. So, all fertile time for pop music. I'm going to say, James, 1961, despite its reputation as a slightly boring year, always ridiculous.
As is often the way when we cover one of, let's call them the pre-Beatles charts, always pleasantly surprised with the amount of variety and catchy pop tunes that are knocking around.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. A little spoiler alert. I mean, what I like about doing these things, James, when we do the charts from before we were both born, yeah, we don't have to be nostalgic. Now, I don't like nostalgia, James, I've realised, looking back. And
really?
Then I've realised...
You're doing the wrong podcast.
I'm doing the wrong podcast, aren't I? So this is pretty good, because neither of us were alive, so I suppose just listening to the music. However, I knew 30% of this top 10 incredibly well, because I love this era of music. And I didn't buy them as singles, but I bought them on compilations and best-ofs, which, counts, doesn't it, towards the contribution of capitalism in pop.
I knew 2 of these songs before this week, so I've learnt a lot.
I have a book that I've been reading this week, James, yeah? Mm-hmm. Which is called The Life and Writing of Tom Hibbert. He was a fantastic music journalist. When he worked at the New Music News, he wrote a letter to himself, right? And this is a good quote. This is just for a little bit of content, because he was getting no letters, so he thought, I'm going to make something up to try and do it. Do you know me, James? I'm into that idea. We don't do it. But... Well,
I've got a letter here, actually, from Nora in Nuneaton, who says, actually, you do make up correspondence.
Okay, Nora. So this letter that Tom Hibbert wrote to himself about being a music journalist. Where's my glasses? Okay, I've always considered rock journalists to occupy the least significant strata and fundamentally... Will you turn that light on for me, you beauty? Let's just leave this in the podcast. Can you read the instructions on back of cooking packets? Have you reached that age in your deterioration?
My problem's with seeing a long way away, so...
Anyway, in this letter that Tom Hoover wrote, I've always considered rock journalists to occupy the least significant strata of a fundamentally useless conceptual sphere built entirely upon ego, sycophancy, and perpetual financial emotional insecurity. That's what he reckons the role of a general music critic is, James. Made me think that's what we do.
Yeah, I feel seen. Not by you, obviously, you blind.
I need some stats in my life. I'm missing
Hang on. I'll do them. I'm crying now. I've got some stats about the chart, though.
Who said that? Where's that voice coming from?
This chart contains a whopping 5 UK number one singles.
What?
I know, that's the most we've ever had. There are 5 songs going up, 3 going down, and 2 non-movers for a total net movement of no movement whatsoever. There are 7 British, 3 American artists, 9 soloists, 1 duo, 5 cover versions, and 2 reimaginings.
By my reckoning, all the top 10, James, this week are dealing with the complexities of love. However, 4 deal with a dissatisfaction, 3 songs are with a titular character at heart, 2 of them have a philosophical concept, and 1 song is connecting the physical realm with celestial existence. There are no examples of self-reference, but there are a trio of key changes, which I'm delighted about, as always.
You can listen to all the songs in our playlists. The links are in the description. There's a Spotify one, there's a YouTube one, and again, with one of these early charts, really worth listening to, because you can get through it in about half an hour.
Half an hour, well worth listening to either before, during, or after this. I think we're all sorted out here. Should we find out about this week's top 10?
Yeah.
We're so near, yet so far away.
Number 10.
Down 1 to number 10 this week, it's You Always Hurt the One You Love by Clarence Frogman Henry.
Now, as I mentioned in the stats, Andy, half of the songs in this chart are number ones at some point. So we're going to play a little quiz at the start of each song. Was this, you got a 50% chance, was this a UK number one?
I'm going to say no.
No, it wasn't. The highest it gets is number 6.
It's a great song. It's a classic, isn't it? Let's lean into that first. Just the beauty of it all. New Orleansy, rock and rolly, 6/8 timey, beautiful bit of music.
6/8 time. What's that then?
It's a rhythm that's sort of it's very doo-wop. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4. You always
hurt.
I'm going to say this early, James. I brought my guitar out, haven't I? Let's say unasked for, as are both our opinions. We're aware of this. I haven't had much time this week to play along with the records, to work out the chords, so I'm going from a website. Now, I'm going to say, because I haven't had much time to do that, it means I've been working a lot, so I don't have to ask for Patreon money so much this week, James.
No, we do.
I feel guilty.
No, we do have to ask for it.
Anyway.
Yeah, we're not at break-even yet, guys.
Yeah, thank you for your support if you do that, or just thank you for listening. Anyway, what has this song got to do with Ryan Gosling, or Ken, if you like, since he was invented in 1961?
Would it be that Ryan Gosling has recorded a cover version of it?
He's recorded a version of it, not as a record, though. Have you seen the film Blue Valentine?
Oh, no. It's in a movie, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a beautiful bit where he's singing to the Michelle, what's her name? Phillips, I think. Michelle
Phillips from the Mamas and the Papas.
Let me get it right, because it sounds really
Michelle Williams.
Michelle Williams,
Yeah.
Thank you so much. They're a couple. It's a great film, actually, about, let's call it a relationship, filmed over a few years. Now, there's an early scene where Ryan Gosling plays this song to Michelle Phillips.
Williams.
As a kind of flirtation. He's singing in a shop doorway on his ukulele. She dances along. Beautiful, yet the lyrics of the song would be a little foreshadow of what's to happen in that relationship. Ends brutally. Anyway, and I like it because this is a good thing. I remember this scene very well. She's saying play a song on ukulele while they're flirting. And he says, I have to sing goofy because if he doesn't sing in a slightly goofy voice, he can't sing. So I'm going to pay a little homage to that.
Well, the character from Disney cartoons.
Yeah, you have to do it like that.
Gorsk.
So it's got this lovely little change. You always hurt the one you love, the one you shouldn't hurt at all. D minor and A7th. And then it goes to another little minor there. Herman's sweetest rose and crush it. It's just pretty, yeah?
Yeah.
Nip over to Spotify or YouTube to hear it in its full existence. So let's get...
Yeah, can I just say about that film, I haven't seen it, and I don't think I'm going to see it because it just sounds very unrealistic.
What do you mean?
I just don't think a woman would ever say, please play me a song on the ukulele. So this song was written in 1944 in the Brill Building.
Oh, yes.
So what's that?
It is a building in New York, I believe, that loads of songwriters used to go to and churn out, if churn is the right word, I think there's an element where you could say that. They would craft, that's better verb, they would craft pop classics for any artist to have a go at, essentially.
And was it called the Brill Building because everyone in it was like really good?
Everyone's brilliant. It.
Brill?
Yeah. I mean, further down the street, there's a slightly mediocre building, so...
The writing team behind this song are Alan Roberts and Doris Fisher, who also wrote Into Each Life Some Rain Must Fall. And
which is similar.
And That Old Devil Called Love.
Oh, nice.
Doris Fisher had previously co-written Whispering Grass with her father, Fred. She'd retired from show business in 1947, age 33, because she got married. And that was how it used to work back in the 40s. Later in life, though, she would give interior design advice to President and Jackie Kennedy.
Nice. You always hurt the one you love, or you sit next to them in a car where they get their head blown apart.
Too soon.
That'd be a different song, wouldn't it?
Yeah. First recorded by the Mills Brothers.
Love the Mills Brothers, what I know of them.
Their version was a US number one in 1944, and 64 years later was featured in BioShock 2.
Which is...
a computer game.
Really?
I don't play them, I don't know what it is. You mentioned Ryan Gosling, it's also been covered by Connie Francis, K-Star, Fats Domino, Pat Bowen.
Pat Bowen, just for the new listeners, is what we call Pat Boone, because Peter Noon of Herman's got introduced as Pat No One, and that's a little running joke. I'd like to, we can't presume everyone knows it, James.
Yeah. Brenda Lee, Paul Anka.
Pat Bowen knows it.
Brenda Lee, Paul Anka, Ringo Starr, and Michael Bublé, among many, many, many others. It's a much covered song.
It's a classic.
Is it a standard?
Yeah.
There's quite a bit of that knocking around in this top 10, isn't there? I've heard that phrase used before. Oh, this is a standard. What makes a song a standard?
I believe a standard. This email us into shoobypodcast@gmail.com if I'm talking nonsense. But my perception of a standard is a song that people have done, especially around this time in the 60s. We've got one coming up, actually. Everyone just was having a go at other people's songs that were around at the time. It's just the notion of the song being the important thing rather than maybe the artist who's singing it. So I suppose a standard is just a song that has that roll call of contributors to this beautiful panoply of pops done. I suppose just a song that loads of people have recorded, I guess. As opposed to Viva Las Vengeance by Panic at the Disco, which is a great song. It was released a few years ago, but no one else is going to have a go at that. It's not a standard.
It's not going to show up on someone's album called, like, The Great American Songbook, is it?
No. Well, the Great American Songbook is exactly another thing, I suppose. That's an example. What is it? Does this songbook exist? Not really, but it's the notion of just these classics that anyone, let's call it vocal stylist, can have a go at and bring something new to, often.
Do you always hurt the one you love?
All right, then, let's get into this before we discuss The Frogman, because it is interesting. But yeah, I suppose I like the notion a lot. I mean, what I like about the last line especially, so if I broke your heart last night, it's because I love you most of all. I'm going to try that next time I fuck somebody about. It's because I love you most. I'm a dickhead. So there's that, isn't there? But I suppose it is, I like the philosophical concept of it, of who can hurt you really the most. It is people you love, isn't it?
And muggers. They can hurt you as well.
I am not against, let's call it, the message of this song. I think it's interesting and slightly complicated.
Clarence Henry, nicknamed Frogman, because... Why? Because he had the suit and he wore it all the time. A bit like Action Man.
Was it because he had a sticky tongue? Was it if he had a drink, he had to absorb it through his belly?
It was all of those things. Yeah.
What were we like? Only the other week, James, we were talking about Crazy Frog, weren't we? So the notion of the frog appearing in the old pop charts.
Yeah, it's because he could sing like a frog.
Yeah.
Particularly in the song
Ain't Got No Home. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he does, he goes, I ain't got no home. You know, like a frog would sing.
Yeah. I think frogs, if you look into it, Clarence, but they really sing like bum, bum, bum.
Hiya.
Yeah, that's a true mimicry of a frog.
married and divorced 7 times.
So I saw on the old YouTube comments, he's got 10 kids.
He passed away in April 2024, aged just 87. Another member of the 87 Club. Are you familiar with this?
Yes.
It's all the people who passed away at the age of 87.
God, why'd you have to be so cruel?
Yeah, so Little Richard, Garth Hudson from the band, Vic Flick, and Margaret Thatcher.
Vic Flick, of course, he was a guitarist on the James Bond records. Just to point that out, Margaret Thatcher. Who was she, James? How would you define her? What hits did she have?
Well, she inspired a lot of hits in the 80s, let's be honest. They are all members of the 87 Club.
Yeah. The cruel club that is, isn't it? I mean, you know, why do they have to go so soon?
Who did Clarence Frogman Henry open for in the US and Canada in 1964?
I learned this from the Jonico on YouTube. In 1964, he toured with the Beatles, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Who plays... This is another fact I learned off YouTube. Who plays the beautiful piano on this record? New Orleans?
Fats Domino?
No.
Is it Alan Toussaint?
It's it. Woo-hoo-hoo.
How did I get that?
Because I just mouthed it to you. Well done, though, James.
Do you think it was dangerous having Frogman touring with the Beatles because he would possibly eat them?
Yeah. Apparently the Beatles asked for him, though, to support them, so that's something I learned off YouTube. It may or may not be fact. Hey, this is good on YouTube. Rocker Bile says, I saw this guy in 1960 on some bill with Bobby Darin, Dwayne Eddy and Clyde McPhatter.
Who's the last one?
Clyde McPhatter, the original voice of the Drifters, a beautiful soul singer. Oh, this was good on YouTube as well. There's a version of it, James. Maybe we can put this one in our YouTube thing where he's singing it at the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame event. He's just been admitted to a Hall of Fame, whatever that is. And he's singing it on a Zimmer frame, if you like. He's an old fella. Now, this is... very rarely see it on YouTube. CB Warg on the YouTube comments says, was the walker necessary? Now, I'm going to say probably. Very few pop stars think I'm going to make myself look cool with a walker on stage.
It's not a fashion accessory, I would say. Although, you know, Morrissey used to wear that hearing aids, didn't he?
Maybe.
So...
But he was a young man when he wore it, I'm going to say. If it's, anyway.
It's not a fashion accessory if it's plausible that you'd need it. I'm sure someone must have done a gig on a drip.
Yeah.
Some heavy metal band will have done that, won't they?
Kurt Cobain famously at Reading came on. There was loads of rumours he came in a hospital gown and a wheelchair, but he didn't do the whole gig in that, did he? He sprung up and did a bit of nonsense. And would you believe, I had a little look at that Reading footage. CB Warg makes a comment. He goes, was a wheelchair necessary? So maybe that's just his thing.
Oh, do you think he's posting that under every video of Stephen Hawking?
Number 9.
Up one place to number 9, it's Time by Craig Douglas. Was it a number 1?
No,
it wasn't. In fact, this is as high as it gets. And incredibly, this is the second of 4 consecutive number 9 hits that Craig Douglas has.
Well, the centre forward of pop, maybe, let's call him.
Yes.
The only record I knew by Craig Douglas, James, prior to this week was Only 16, which is a cover of a Sam Cooke song. Now, as we mentioned, people covering each other's songs, especially British people and Americans, I'm going to say. We'll have a bit of that.
He had a number 1 with that cover of Only 16.
Hey, it's got a key change in it. That's one of the records of the 3 this week. Delighted to get that out and about in the world.
When it starts, that intro, blink, ding, 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 ding. It reminds me of, you know, the music they play in like oldie pathe footage of factories in the background. Ding, 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 ding. That kind of music.
I get ya.
So when it started, I went, oh my God, it's that. But no, it's a little jaunty tune, isn't it?
Nip over to Spotify, listen to that intro. Not now, maybe, or now, but please come back. Don't, if you're going to go now to have a listen, please return. Yeah. So we like to remind people all these records are to listen to on the Spotify or YouTube playlist. Yeah, I mean, again, when I first heard it, we've talked about this before in the past, James. When I first heard it this week, this was new to me. I thought, that's all right, mundane, who cares? By the end of the week, listening to it, as you would listening to the top 10, I suppose, around this time, it's worked its way into me this week. Great little song this is.
Lyrically, it's all about all the things that time can do and contrasting that with the thing that time can't do.
Go on.
So time can't make me forget your love. And then it says it's going to take much more than time. So presumably money? So, he's saying time will make flowers grow, time will melt the ice and snow.
Time will change the winter scene. Time can turn the desert green. Time can make a mountain disappear from view.
On the website I'm looking at for the lyrics, it says time can turn the dessert green. Which is true, really. It can go mouldy over time.
Or a pistachio. Craig Douglas will be delighted. Anyway, so I think it's got that little philosophical bent to this song, which it sort of rescues it from, let's call it, it's middle of the roadness.
Written by Buddy Kay and Phil Springer. Buddy Kay, co-writer of A, You're Adorable, Speedy Gonzales, and the theme to I Dream of Jeannie. Phil Springer wrote Santa Baby.
Great CVs. Did you like this song this week?
It was fine.
Fine, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm more interested in Craig Douglas. What do you know of Craig Douglas?
All right then. Neil Crosland on YouTube, he says, Craig is a very good friend of mine. I've made his suits for the past 30 years. He enjoys his retirement on the Isle of Wight. One a life's gentleman. I know that about him.
Yeah, he's from the Isle of Wight, that's true. Born Terence Perkins. He is a twin, and 4 of his other 7 siblings were also twins.
Really?
Yes, so out of 7 kids, 6 of them were twins.
Amazing. Terence Perkins, you say?
Yeah.
I like the fact he's changed his name to Craig Douglas because I like a man with 2 Christian names.
A former milkman.
Was that his nickname, the Singing Milkman or something?
Yeah, they made a big thing of it at the time. Voted Best New Singer of 1959 in the NME. Would date 2 Miss Worlds and sell 10 million records worldwide. You'd think he'd be more well known. All I kept thinking was, Craig Douglas, didn't he do Kung Fu Fighting? And that's Carl Douglas, obs. He appears in the film It's Trad Dad, a film I've talked about before on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
About the kids getting into traditional Dixieland jazz.
Yeah. In 1961.
He topped the bill at whose first major stage show?
Around this era.
Yeah.
Don't know.
The Beatles.
I knew it was either them or the Simpsons or the Muppets.
So I was having a look at his discography and his little back catalogue, and he has, as I say, he has 4 number 9 hits in a row. He has that number 1 with the cover, and then he kind of disappears for ages, where I'm led to believe he was off doing the pubs and clubs and cruises and whatnot. In 2011, he puts out an album called The Craig Douglas Project. Are you familiar with this? No, neither was I. Okay, so the American music albums that Johnny Cash did?
Oh, yeah.
Towards the end of his life there. Hugely.
Produced by Rick Rubin, stripped back acoustic versions of this, that and the other.
Yeah, it's similar to that.
Has he?
It's almost as if they've gone, I want to do a Johnny Cash style thing.
Yeah, cool.
With Craig Douglas. He's got, his voice has gone down several octaves and is quite gruff. They're not stripped back and acoustic. Some of them are.
What songs is he doing, do you know?
I've listened to the whole album. Right, my favourite one's on it. He does Auberge by Chris Rea.
Yeah.
He does Is It Like Today by World Party. And he does The Killing Moon.
Pretty cool, Craig Douglas.
Those are the good ones.
By the Echo and the Bunnymen song, Killing Moon.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a couple where you're trying too hard to do Johnny Cash here. Yeah. He does a version of With or Without You, and he does a version of Enjoy the Silence, which is a bit on the nose because Johnny Cash did that Personal Jesus, didn't
That's
he?
all right. I mean, Johnny Cash doesn't own these songs. He was a vagabond and a thief, nicking whatever. Not nicking.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying about in that style.
Okay.
And the jury is out on his version of the song Creep.
Oh, everyone's had to go Creep and done a bit of that. That's all right.
And part of it is kind of, hey, he's a really old guy and he's singing Creep.
Does he drop the F-bomb on it?
No, he doesn't.
No. Because he's an elderly gentleman who respects us, yeah?
It's worth a listen anyway.
Yeah,
it's interesting. You can see what they're trying to do, and sometimes it works and sometimes not so much.
I'm glad you've brought this up. This is one of my little theories. Let's throw this out in the internet and get a petition going. I think Cliff Richard should record one of them type of albums. He's a great guitar player, Cliff. He sings brilliant still, I reckon. I'd like to see Cliff be inspired by Johnny Cash. He's always attempting, isn't he, Cliff, I feel, to be relevant, to get in the radio too, to be played. I'd like to see Cliff do a little stripped back version. Join the Shooby Dooby do-up petition to, I don't know, get Cliff to be like Johnny Cash, I suppose. We need a better title than that.
Dead?
No, I love Cliff. Anyway, all right, this is about Craig Douglas. So let's say even up to 2011, he was still interested, still an artist, yeah?
Yep, and he's still alive now. He's on the Isle of Wight.
Thank you, Craig Douglas. I wish we appreciate it.
Number 8.
Down 3 to number 8 this week. It's Hello, Mary Lou by another man with 2 Christian names, Ricky Nelson.
Was it a UK number one?
I'm going to say, yeah, it's a classic, this, isn't it? I feel everyone knows this.
It got to number 2.
What?
Yeah, there are 5 number ones still to come.
Oh, amazing. All right, this is one of the songs, the 3 I alluded to at the beginning that I've known, I feel, for years. My dad used to have a Ricky Nelson album. I feel like, let's say, this is a standard in its own kind, isn't it? And I feel everyone knows this, but what a joy to hear it this week again.
It's great. It's such an archetypical rock and roll song.
This is one of the first songs I ever learned to play when I was in a little covers band when I was about 15, 16, in the Midlands especially. This song was very popular around that era. A Duck on Quack 9520 says, I heard Queen cover this song at Wembley 1986, so there's something.
Is it an easy song then, is it?
What
If
I
it was
like
the first
about-
one you did.
It's all right. You have to play bar chords and all that, but this is pretty good. What I like about it, let's do it fast, is go, hello. We need other words for copyright. Hello, James Cook.
Hello.
Hello, mate. So it kind of dooby-dooby-doo. What, this is interesting now. He goes, dooby-doo. Then it's an A. Then he goes, C sharp, F sharp minor, B minor, E, A. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And it's exactly the same chord pattern for the verse too. So he's going, I've seen your lips, I've heard your voice on podcasts. I've got no choice because I have to be there every day with you. But then in the verse it goes, A 7th, D minor. So that's a little bit of a change from the C sharp, and that's a good little chord substitution.
Yeah,
I used to love that about it, at least.
And
Sorry
it's
sorry
more
if that's been-
complicated than it sounds when you go, this is like the first song we did.
Yeah.
There's actually quite a lot to it.
It's a song about falling in love, isn't it? I like the notion. Hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye.
Goodbye, microphone.
Goodbye, microphone. That's
Andy just knocked the microphone over in a fit of rage.
a fit of joy, James. That's how much I'm into this record. It gets me going from the beginning, from the drums. It's got the cowbells in. It's got a rhythmic thing that's weird. It's got a fantastic guitar solo from James Burton, who was Elvis's guitarist later on. It's a pop joy. Do you know who wrote it?
I know who said he wrote it.
Go on. Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, Gene Pitney.
Yeah.
Our old friend Gene Pitney had the original writing credit, but due to its similarity to a 1957 song by The Sparks called Mary Mary Lou, have you heard that song?
Nope.
Sounds very much like Hello Mary Lou.
Okay.
And then subsequent legal action, that means that, and I'm going to say this name wrong, and I apologise, but I'm going to give it a good go. How do you say this name?
K.A. Mangiarak?
Is that K-A?
I don't know. It's spelled C-A-Y-E-T. We don't know. Email us in shoobypodcast@gmail.com if we have just destroyed some cultural norms.
Say it. Mangiaracina.
Let's hope, James.
I'm
You never
going to-
have to read the news, and let's hope he doesn't die on the day that you have to do it.
Sayat Manjaracina also now has a credit on the song. Manjaracina became a priest and claims that all the royalties he's had for this song, Hello Mary Lou, have been donated to his church.
Amazing.
Gene Pitney said, I've spent a lifetime trying to analyse why it was as big as it was. Well, the answer, Gene, might be that you got it from someone else. That might be the thing. Which happens. We've talked about it before, haven't we? Contested ownership of
I
writing
mean,
credits.
as a chord structure, there's nothing particularly groundbreaking about it, apart from that little bit I like so much. And I'd question that's groundbreaking, really.
What do you know of Ricky Nelson?
I know that he's great. I know that he's got some brilliant... Hey, there's also, we should point out, James, it's a double A-side, this record, this week.
Yeah, is it?
With Travelling Man.
Oh, okay.
That's another song, which, while we're here, a nice little ballad. I'm a doctor. I made a lot of sense all over the world. Beautiful. Check that out.
Good song, and also chain of comic book and board game shops.
I know that he was a child star, if you like, on a TV show called Ozzie and Harriet, which featured his parents, yeah?
Ran for 435 episodes, a record for a live-action American sitcom.
Amazing.
In fact, who plays the guitar on this record?
James Burton plays the guitar solo, but Rob Barron 718 says, in case you didn't know, Rick's father, Ozzie Nelson, is playing his 4-string guitar on this. This is the only time he played on one of Rick's records. Just thought I'd let you know.
Yep, he does. His dad is playing the guitar on this record.
Only the rhythm guitar, though, because...
Only?
What?
Only the rhythm guitar.
Well, strumming chords. I did it, didn't I? I'm not trying to claim I'm an Ozzie Nelson, but, But I say the The guitar work of James Burton on this is especially thrilling, I'm going to say. Also, Vancouver Magic says Glenn Campbell did the voice doubling and guitar work on this song. Might be bullshit.
Don't know about
All right, then. We don't know, but we always like to say, that's how I like to get out of this little conundrum in James. This is just people talking about the legend and the rumours behind pop classics.
I hear Phil Collins plays the drums on it.
He does. There's that great bit, isn't there, where he goes, I saw your lips, I heard your voice. Believe me, I just have no choice. Well, horses couldn't make me go away.
To signify the horses.
Yeah. Phil Oakey plays synthesizer on it. I liked.
Frank Zappa plays theremin. Ricky Nelson had 16 UK chart hits. This was his most successful and also his last. It was re-released in 1991 when it got to number 45. Sad end for Ricky Nelson. Died in a plane crash on New Year's Eve 1985.
Rest in peace, Ricky Nelson, and thank you for everything you've done.
I will say there is a sort of a hint of mortality about the top 10 this week. I mean, not just that it's from 1961, so statistically speaking, a lot of people involved in the records will have died anyway, but early mortality, let's say.
As Craig Douglas pointed out, that is the nature of time. He didn't put that in his lyrics, did he, I suppose? Well, on YouTube comments, would you believe there's loads of people remembering this, remembering their nan who's named Mary Lou, loads of dogs and pets were named Mary Lou, so that's in people's hearts, let's say. Also, Tilly on YouTube says Nelson's the... Ricky Nelsons, I suppose, or the Ozzy and the Harriet and the Rickies.
Not the guy on the top of the column.
No.
Or the bully from The Simpsons.
Neither of them. They say the Nelsons are the only family with 3 generations having a number 1 hit. Ozzy, the father, in 1935, had one song called And Then Some. Ricky in 1960 had one with Poor Little Fool because this never got to number 1, only ever number 2. And Ricky's sons, Gunnar and Matthew, they had a song called Love and Affection in, I don't know, whatever point that was. So
yeah, in America.
In America.
Those are in America.
And we're doing the British charts, but you know.
Proper British charts.
Proper British charts.
None of this colonial rubbish. Joking, of course. This song produced by Jimmy Haskell.
Oh, yeah.
Who said he used 15 layers of overdubbing on Ricky Nelson's voice, which might be hyperbole. Once you know that and you listen to it, you go, oh, Christ, it is overdubbed a lot.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter to me because, as I say, the sound of this record, especially when you listen to it as a continuum in the top 10, it springs out at you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's lively, it's happening, it's loud, it's controlled. I mean, you know, I dig this song.
It's wonderful. It is
wonderful.
It's like oxygen, not the Jean Valjean thing, the air. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's just there in rock and roll, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hello, Mary Lou. It's a standard. It's in the Great American Songbook. It's all that stuff.
Mr. Wright on YouTube, he says 1961.
I've been looking for him.
Haven't we all? See if you get in touch with this philosophy. He says, 1961, there's great music, burgers, shakes, now it's lousy music and kale salads. I was blessed to grow up in the 60s. It's getting mighty strange out there now.
He wants to go to a McDonald's or something. They do burgers and shakes if he wants one of them.
Yet, since the lockdown, he'll have to order it on a touch screen, so it is getting mighty strange out there now.
Do you think he's only allowed to eat kale salads now because he spent the entire 60s eating burgers and shakes?
Yeah, maybe.
Might be that.
Well, as I say, we're both giving it a big thumbs up, aren't we, James?
Yeah.
The next song best be thrilling to follow this one.
Number 7.
Up one to number 7. It's Temptation by the Everly Brothers.
The next song is thrilling to follow, Ricky Nelson.
Their cover version of the Heaven 17 classic. Oh, no, wait, a different song. Was it a number 1?
No.
Yes, it was. It was a number 1. It was their 4th number 1 and their last number 1 in the UK.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Heaven 17. Let's be honest. I know this song, it's an old song, isn't it? From the 30s. Bing Crosby is a version I know.
Yep.
There's a little...
That's a much less rock and roll version than this one.
Much less rock and roll. There's a nice orchestral version that appears in the film Singing in the Rain when they're having one of the parties after the premiere. So I sort of feel like I know this song from other, let's call it iterations. But this version, what a joy this is.
The sort of opening hook of yay, 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 yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's been this week's earworm.
Yep.
That's been the thing when I'm walking around, not listening to the music, where I'll just suddenly out of nowhere go, yay, 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 yeah.
There's one every week, isn't there?
Yeah, there's always an earworm. Here's my thing with the Everly Brothers.
Go on.
And you're going to hate this. Strap in. I don't think their voices are suited to this song.
Well, I always like, let's call it contrarian's point of view. What you're saying, the Everly Brothers' voice is not suited to what? This record?
To this record? I think their voices are quite thin, I think.
What? Go on.
and they are. They're quite reedy, aren't they? The Everly Brothers' voices. And I think for some songs it suits it really well. So, like,
I'm afraid this podcast will now be discontinued because let's call it musical differences between me and...
Wake Up Little Susie really works. Bye Bye Love really works. This, I just feel that their voices don't have the oomph.
Well...
Andy has literally gone red. His face has gone red. He's so furious.
I'm not furious. I kind of like it. Now, the received wisdom, James, the Everly Brothers influence John and Paul, Crosby, Stills, and every duet ever going, to be honest there. And yet, James Cook, a comedian in Birmingham, is saying their voices are what? Reedy and not matched. All right, then.
Not matched to this song.
Even the bit when they go back being a slave, and he goes, slave. All right, then. A hot take, James, I'm going to say.
It's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's all we're talking. How we are giving some unasked for opinions, I suppose.
This is nothing against the Everly Brothers as artists or as people, and I'm not diminishing their influence, which is clearly massive.
What this is reminding me a little bit of, James, on some, let's call it news programmes, when they get somebody from the right wing to say something just to give an extreme. They give somebody from the left wing just to give an extreme. I think there's a version of that playing out with me and you, on the Everly Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're brilliant.
You think I'm saying this for clicks?
Yeah. If people listen to these charts and they're big fans, like everyone on YouTube is about 1961, I mean, it's I like it, James. It's let's call it an outsider's point of view.
But as you mentioned, written in the 30s, written in 1933 by Nacho Herb Brown and Arthur Freed. What do you know about them?
Nothing, apart from one of them's got a nickname like a snack.
They wrote a lot of the music in Singing in the Rain, including Good Morning, Make 'Em Laugh, Broadway Melody, Singing in the Rain. Nacho Brown, in his Wikipedia photo, looks like he's wearing a comical Christmas cracker moustache. Arthur Freed might have been a bit of a wrong'un.
Yeah?
Yeah. There were allegations.
Go on. We never like to shy away from, let's call it the dark underbelly of pop.
According to her autobiography, Shirley Temple says when she was 12, Arthur Freed behaved very inappropriately around her. And other people have also said the same. To get it back to lighter news, this song does feature in the first episode of...
The Muppets.
Yep. Where
I knew that'd turn up somehow, despite my little bit of a joke earlier, 1961. Go on.
Kermit conducts 4 frogs, 4 chickens, 2 male pigs, and Miss Piggy. But, crucially, Miss Piggy does not have the voice of Frank Oz.
Okay.
So, is it canon? Not even sure. But I would say all their voices much more suited to this song than the Everly Brothers.
James Cook is doubling down. Like when comics say something bad and they think, well, I best say more. I think that's what's going on with you. This is your Andrew Lawrence moment about the Everly Brothers. You're going to get the tone. Wherever the Everly Brothers come from, they're going to be furious with you this week. He'll never play here again.
All right.
For me, James, the record is thrilling. I like the fact that there's some female backing vocalists on this, James, which is unusual for an Everly Brothers because most people think their voices are good enough to carry a song. So I'm delighted that at least some females turn up. I like it being about temptation. I was thinking about that, James. There's a few songs, isn't there, that deal with the subject of temptation. As you mentioned, Heaven 17. You've also got Squeezed, Tempted, haven't you?
Yep.
You've got Crowded House, who did a song called Into Temptation.
There's the group, The Temptations.
The Temptations, of course, the group. You've got records like Almost Persuaded by Etta James. I thought Blue Alert by Madeline Peru. I'm just bringing some feminine notion that, hey, women can be tempted too. Of course, you've got things like Bad Idea, right? I'd say that Olivia Rodrigo is about going to an ex's. Don't Stand So Close to Me by The Police. Complicated Temptations, yeah. So I'm recommending this song. I thought I'd be good this week, James. Bloke said this to me when I told him we were doing this podcast. He said, have you ever Googled the original review of the single. I thought that's a good point, isn't it? I had a little go with this song. And then I ended up on a site called singles50.com.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, or a review for this website anyway. And let's just say there were a lot of dissatisfied customers on that website, mainly women. On the iPlayer recently, James, there was the Everly Brothers reunion concert from 1983 at the Albert Hall. Not you, James, because I know you're terrible.
Have they sorted their voices out yet?
No, they haven't. Would you believe it? They're singing like what gained the world popularity. Anyway, that's
in the songs that suit it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like
the songs
Wake
that
Up Little
suit it?
Susie, for example, suits the Everly Brothers voice.
Because
Everly Brothers,
what? Because
I think they have a pop voice,
Yeah.
right?
This is
Whereas
a
I think
big
Temptation,
stinking pop record. No.
you need more oomph, more gravitas than the Everly Brothers.
Well, as I say often on this, I suppose this is your equivalent of James. You're going to have to live with this after. When I gave a Savage Garden a kick in,
Yeah.
right, I really enjoyed it at the time. I thought that's a good thing to say. I have to live with that guilt afterwards. And I think now Everly Brothers going to follow you around. Like
I am not giving this a kicking. Why do you think I'm giving it a kicking?
Because you're saying something mad, like the Everly Brothers voice don't suit this song that is made what it is by the bleeding Everly Brothers voices and two other women singing along.
It's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's all it is. I hope you show the same tolerance when other people express opinions you don't agree with.
I do every bloody week on this thing. Mr. I don't like losing my religion over there.
Yeah, that is fucking rubbish.
Why is this song significant to the Everly Brothers, and why should they probably have just left it alone?
Well, partially because of, let's call it your opinion. Also, I don't know, why should they have left it? Did they get sued by anybody afterwards? Or
No.
what?
Well, the people they were working with, loads like Wesley Rose and it's the Acuff Rose songwriters.
Oh, yeah, they're great country. They're well known in the country music realm. Let's say Acuff and Rose,
They'd
publishing and songwriting.
And they'd worked loads with the Everly Brothers leading up to this, but this isn't a Acuff Rose song.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, "You shouldn't do it because it's not one of our songs." And they went, "We're going to do it anyway." And that led to them falling out. And as a result, they were shut off from Acuff and Rose's songwriting after that.
Okay, that's
And
interesting.
in the UK, at least, they only have 2 more top 10 hits.
They had their time in, they're still making records after some great, let's call it 60s records by the Everly Brothers, but I suppose their time in the top 10, which we're focusing on, weirdly brief.
It's like everyone sort of realised how they sounded.
And then copied it and emulated it for years.
I'm only joking.
I know, I'm just making that point because I love the Everly Brothers. I mean, I don't know. This is a brilliant record in my opinion. The next song's going to have to be fantastic to follow this.
Number 6.
Up 1 to number 6. Would you believe it? It's a fantastic record to follow the Everly Brothers. It's Billy Fury with Halfway to Paradise.
Was it a UK number 1?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It only got to number 3.
Wow.
You're terrible at this game.
I am terrible. These are the, I mentioned the 30% that I loved earlier. I know I owned. We've just done the 3 of them.
3 in
None
a
of
row.
them ever number 1.
Temptation was.
What?
Temptation was a number 1.
This chart, that I'm going to call it the lower reaches, 3 absolute classics, one after the other. I recommend you listen to it on Spotify just for that joy of each record following the next one. Brilliant.
A bit like Hello Mary Lou. It's a standard. It's a Great American Songbook song, isn't it? Halfway to Paradise.
The Great American Songbook, I feel, go from the 30s and 40s, a little bit in some of the early 50s, but as you would say, they're, from the late 50s and 60s onwards, absolutely. It's an American classic, written by Goffin and King.
Our old friends.
Our old friends who keep popping up.
It's like they're really good at writing pop songs.
Almost.
What is it with them?
I'm just, for the sake of your Everly Brothers stance, I'm just going to say Goffin and King rubbish. For them. I don't mean that. I felt bad. Even saying that as a joke, I felt bad.
Yeah, don't say things if you don't mean them. This is a cover version.
Yeah, go on.
Who did it originally?
I don't know. Tony Orlando?
Yep.
Okay, I do know.
When he was 16.
Wow.
It was Tony Orlando. Born Michael Cassavetes, his middle names are Anthony Orlando, and that's why he's called Tony Orlando.
Well, while we're at it, do you know what Billy Fury's original name is?
William Furious.
Absolutely. He shortened it for, let's call it brevity's sake. Ronald Wycherley, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, then, I like it, because Billy Fury, right, around this time, he's managed by a fella called Larry Parnes, yeah? Mm-hmm. Some British showbiz sort of rock and roll impresario, and Larry Parnes gave all his, let's call it clients, all his acts a different name. He had so Billy Fury, yeah, what we might call a good Christian name, good, honest, solid Christian name, followed by a little bit of some sort of tempestuous nature in the
bit of excitement, bit of titillation.
Yeah, so the other acts Larry Parnes had, and I guess would have named, were Marty Wilde, Vince Eager, and the little about-turned Johnny Gentle.
I feel bad for Johnny Gentle. Hang on, there's Billy Fury and Marty Wilde here. Why do I have to be Johnny Gentle? It's like that bit in Reservoir Dogs where they're arguing about the names.
There was also Duffy Power, and let's not forget the bloke who never quite got into the top 10, but Bobby Happy Slapper.
He was my favourite.
Yeah, he's great, wasn't he?
Billy Fury, he'd have 11 top 10 hits, but never a number one. Halfway to Paradise is the name of a TV documentary about his life that was made in 1999. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. You watch it?
Hosted by Ian Dury.
Okay.
I watched a couple of clips online.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
I'll be watching that.
In 1965, Billy Fury starred in the movie I've Got a Horse. IMDb rating 4.7, alongside Amanda Barry and a horse.
Nice.
It's about a man who's got a horse. It looks rubbish.
Right. He also had a part in That'll Be the Day, starring David Essex and Ringo Starr. I learned this from this week. Billy Fury was in the same class as Ringo Starr at school, same classrooms, and then later on, he goes on to star alongside Ringo Starr in the great film That'll Be the Day. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
See,
we spoke about it when we talked about it.
I am recommending that film highly. That and start, but I love that film. Everyone's fantastic in that. It's got an array of pop stars. Keith Moon's playing the drummer, as I mentioned. Billy Fury is a singer. Also, Jacko from Brushstrokes plays rhythm guitar in it.
Yeah, and again, another tragic early death.
Yes.
Billy Fury died in 1983 from a heart attack at age just 42.
I did watch an interview with him briefly with Russell Harty from 1976, I think, this week on YouTube. And Russell Harty really did... Hello, Billy. Welcome. Now, Billy, you've got the terrible weak heart, haven't you? In the first 5 minutes, he's very much opening up about this. And he also talks about a shyness that he had, which is interesting for a pop star. He doesn't really like being out in front of everybody. Yet, Billy Fury made some of my favourite ever records, not just this one. He's responsible for what they call the birth of British rock and roll, I'm led to believe from reading from his 1958 album, The Sound of Fury. There's a statue of him up in Liverpool at the moment, so, he's one of the
I love
greats.
that. At the moment.
Yeah.
At any minute, that statue could go.
Well, you never know. Possibly what'll happen now if they go a bit Bristol, if they'll realise Billy Fury covered some black artist songs, think cultural appropriation, start lacerating themselves and throw them into the Mersey.
I don't think there's any evidence that Billy Fury at any time owned slaves, so I think we're fine.
You know me, James, I like to lurch to the right sometimes for clicks.
Other notable versions of Halfway to Paradise.
Oh, go on.
Bobby Vinton, Nick Lowe, Jason Donovan, and Kelly Marie.
Yeah.
Boop, boop.
It's one of them songs, isn't it? I mean, it's...
Yeah. Should we talk about what the song's about?
Yeah.
It's about edging, isn't it?
I get ya, yeah. All right, then. I want to be your lover. No, edging. Your
Filthy,
friend is all
filthy
I say.
song this is.
It's a song of sexual frustration, I'm going to say, isn't it? He's only halfway to paradise, yet, everything's good.
Sting would love it.
What you're saying, the tantric notion of
yeah.
it. As Goffin and King often do, they reach into the human psyche and write songs about experiences that most of us have had, isn't it? We all know that feeling of having a shy into someone, but them not being quite as into you, and you feel lovelorn and lost.
There's a lot of mentions of lips in the song.
Such as,
Well, there's four. There's four lips. I long for your lips to kiss my lips, and put your sweet lips close to my lips.
Yeah.
You put your sweet lips just made me think of, you remember those lips you could get in Pick and Mix?
Go on.
The red jellied candy lips?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought when you said put your sweet lips, are they those? Have you got any of those coconut mushrooms as well and the pink shrimp?
Got any cola bottles?
I'm a bit addicted to cola bottles. I think I've genuinely got a problem with Haribo. I've got to stop having it.
Things have taken a turn in this podcast. Yeah. If you want to help James, it doesn't have to be financially. If you just want to help him with if you or anybody you know has been affected
by Haribo addiction, then, grow up.
This is interesting, I think. This happens It's always lurking about in YouTube comments, but with Billy Fury, a bit like David Essex, and who surprised me one week. Yeah, the lead singer out of Sailor with that Girls, Girls, Girls. Loads of women are going on. Let's say they're warm for Billy Fury's form. Jesse James 7492 says he said in an interview that he suffered from shyness all his life. I think his shyness makes him look dreamy.
I thought she was going to go, I'll make him less shy. I'll get him all the way to paradise.
All right then.
Halfway to paradise, then I had to take a bus replacement service.
Michael Dudsworth on YouTube says, ideal for doing the bossa nova to. It was my favourite of the Smith and Jacques dance studio at Billingham. My ideal partner was Jean Bush. I was the only gent who could dance with this Jean, with the blessing from Don, Jean's late husband. So I'm going to say it's got a little sexual frizz on, even according to Michael Dudsworth.
That's like if Saga magazine did a dirty letters page.
Jean Bush, the temptress. I heard a good joke this week. I went to see one, these bingo shows that people do, the lively and drunken. I saw a great one this week, and they compare at Brierley Hill Civic Centre, loads of women. He goes, in the midst of all this chaos, he says, what do you call Kate Bush if you shaved her vagina? Kate.
That's not how that works.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Billy Fury. I feel like you've made such a great contribution to pop music, and here we are discussing Jean and Kate, two of my mum's friends.
What about Mary Beard?
Hello, Mary Beard. Goodbye, Clippers, I suppose. There we are. We've done the numbers 10 to 6, haven't we? Listen to these songs on Spotify to remind you, and the other 5 that are coming up. Of course, the other 5, James, the top 5, let's say. We are literally halfway to paradise.
We'll get into that in the second part of this week's Top 10. Here's a little taste of what you can expect.
She's reaching for the stars. Also, her hands are going across the sea.
How tall is she?
How long are her arms, Shirley Bassey?
She's like Mr. Tickle.
We often tie up the shoelaces of pop, don't we? Form a complicated knot and trip over our own feet. All right, then I like it.
Well, the 3 brothers, 2 of them had UK number 1s, another one had a UK number 3, so he must be absolutely gutted. He must have the piss ripped out of him every Christmas.
My parents played this record when I was a child. It started my existential angst at 6 years old, so, As always, check out the songs we are playing. Not only does it make more sense of what me and James are going on about, but also a little bit of music in your life is also always beneficial, yeah?
Yeah, the links are in the description. There's a Spotify, there's a YouTube. You can email us, shoobypodcast@gmail.com. Please rate and review, like, follow, share, everything. That would be appreciated.
Thank you very much for listening on whatever you do, Shooby Dooby Doo Up.
Bob Bob Shoo Up.